You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Live at 4 on this Friday. Hope everyone is staying warm today.
It finally happened. I could not start my car today.
Me either.
What?
I had the same problem.
It's a good thing we didn't try to get a ride from each other.
It's
We
true.
would have been out of luck. All right. Well, the worst is nearly past for this round of cold.
Yeah, we're getting there, everybody. Hang in there. With sub-zero air temperatures and wind chill adding to the mix, over 100 schools and businesses across our area have closed.
Meteorologist Blaze Keller is here with the First Warn forecast, and he's telling us when that thermometer will start going back up.
Well, it will get at least above zero tomorrow, but we are still going to remain cold probably through the rest of the extended forecast until the end of the following work week. That's when we may slip back into those 20s above zero for air temperatures. Right now, our wind chill value is about 25 to 30 degrees below zero still at this hour. We've said goodbye to the extreme cold warning for pretty much all of our coverage area except for Green Lake, Marquette, and Waushara counties. That is until 6 a.m. on Saturday. For everybody else in the light blue, we are underneath a cold weather advisory through noon on Saturday. I wouldn't be surprised if that is extended through the rest of the weekend, but for now, it is going to be allowed to expire at noon on Saturday. As wind chill values are going to continue to remain on the cooler side, here's a look at what we can expect as we head through the rest of this evening into the very early morning hours on Saturday, and we'll take this out even further to about Saturday morning. Getting a bit of a break, not as cold, but as we head back into Sunday, it does look like those overnight lows and those wind chills will once again be about 10 to 20 degrees below zero. So again, we may see that cold weather advisory be extended. Of course, that will be sent directly to your phone if you have the First Warn weather app, and we'll of course update you on air and through social media if that is the case. Here's a look at the Edgewater sky cam, a frozen Lake Mendota. It's 9 below zero. It feels like 24 degrees below zero. Here in about half hour, we'll know if that 9 degree below zero has tied for the coldest high temperature recorded for today's date, or if we just warmed slightly above that. And of course, in the full forecast, we'll track out the warmer temperatures. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Blaze, thank you. Right now, shelters and warming centers are open to those who need help.
And they're busy with families trying to stay warm during this alert day. Tanasia Shaw visited a warming center in Middleton today, and Tanasia, they're staying open throughout the evening, I understand.
Hi, Brady and Susan. Yes, it's business as usual at Middleton Library, but they're also helping families stay warm. This is their way of making sure families can relax while taking advantage of the heat. The city of Middleton has 3 other warming centers that are open today. Their library director says that they have had a lot of people using the space, especially since Middleton students do not have class today. Officials hope that this will be a unique way to introduce more people to libraries.
We generally see an uptick in days like this, and our parking lot's always busy, and tables are full, and chairs are being sat in.
Now, in addition to the library, Middleton's police department lobby is open 24/7 as a warming center as well. Now, Middleton City Hall, Public Library, and Senior Center are also open as warming centers on regular business hours.
Tanasia, thank you. Well, UW-Madison students were among the many happy students with school cancellations today. There's a silver lining due to that extreme cold.
Our Maren Rosen went to campus today to talk with some of the students who were brave enough to venture out in the cold. Maren?
Well, Susan and Brady, I do not blame most students for staying inside today, but this cancellation is very rare. UW-Madison has not canceled classes due to weather since 2019. Wind chills dropped well below zero, prompting the university to cancel all in-person classes, labs, and discussion sections. Campus is quiet as students try to stay warm inside their dorms and apartments, and some students told me the cancellation was expected given the extreme conditions.
Looking at the weather, I was kind of expecting it, with like a -5 being the high. I think it's just dangerous for kids to be walking to class, so I was very grateful that it was canceled.
Despite the cancellation, many students still ventured to the library and work, while others stayed inside, taking advantage of Canvas and online lectures to keep up with their coursework. UW officials remind students to wear layers and limit time outside due to frostbite risk. Classes resume once temperatures warm up.
Nice to have a snow day on a Friday. Marin, thank you. And with the weather, the Iowa County Sheriff's Office is giving us an update on road conditions for this evening. They say they're fielding multiple calls on the north and south roads about drifting, and they say plows are having a tough time keeping up with conditions. Highways 151 and 18 will still be plowed until the winds calm down. However, all other Iowa County roads will not be plowed until after 6 tonight through tomorrow morning.
Track the forecast for yourself on the First Warn Weather app. It has hourly planners, road conditions, and radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather.
A manhunt continues tonight after police say a man drove a stolen vehicle into Monona Bay yesterday. Police say they are still searching for Derek Newton. Police say he carjacked an SUV early yesterday before it fell through the ice on Monona Bay near Brittingham Park. They say the carjacking happened near Meritor Hospital, putting the hospital on lockdown. Officials believe Newton has a knife and a gun and is a threat to the public. We'll continue to follow this story and provide updates on air and on channel3000.com.
A Marshall man is facing homicide charges in connection with a deadly crash last summer. Prosecutors say 21-year-old Gavin Scholes crossed the center line and hit another car head-on, leading to the death of 39-year-old Magiel Antonio Castro Morales of Columbus. A third driver then crashed into the disabled car, shearing off its engine block. Investigators say Scholes admitted to drinking vodka and smoking cannabis before driving, and his blood test was positive for Delta-9 THC. His bond is set at $35,000. A preliminary hearing is scheduled for next Wednesday.
Well, this week on For the Record, political reporter Ellie La Liberté is looking into how President Trump's first year back in office has impacted Wisconsin. Overall, national approval ratings for the president have come down over the course of the year, but Marquette Law School poll director Charles Franklin says it is slightly above where he was this time in his first term. In Wisconsin, the president is polling slightly above the national average.
The other thing that we see is Wisconsin, like the country, is concerned about tariffs and really think tariffs have hurt Wisconsin farmers. And on that issue, even among Republicans, only a third think that tariffs have helped farmers, a third of Republicans think they've hurt farmers, and a third of Republicans think they haven't had any effect on farmers.
Franklin also noted affordability and health care costs are top concerns for Wisconsinites. To hear how the president is polling on those topics, you can tune into For the Record this Sunday morning at 10:30.
Well, the world's largest Bratfest, happening right here in Madison, is just 4 months away, something to look forward to. The fest returns to Willow Island at the Alliant Energy Center over Memorial Day weekend. 75 local, regional, and national acts will perform throughout the weekend. Headlining the grand and main stages are Priscilla Block, Great White, The Lovin' Spoonful, and Rhett Walker. The family-friendly festival offers free admission, free parking, and free live music Memorial Day weekend. That's May 22nd through the 24th.
That'll start to help you feel a little bit warmer.
Yeah, warm thoughts, everyone.
Can't get here fast enough. Next on Live at 4, the football season is winding down, but not without a handful of major games. We'll tell you when you can watch the AFC game right here on Channel 3.
And Josh is in the 608 with a preview of Restaurant Week that is guaranteed to get your stomach rumbling.
Then it's one of the largest renovations since it was built. We'll talk with county leaders about a $100 million plan to revamp the Coliseum at the Alliant Energy Center.
And the entire Midwest is bracing for this major cold spell that's passing over us. Blaze will tell us in the First Warn forecast when things might start turning around.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
In the 608, this Sunday marks the start of Winter Restaurant Week in Madison.
Yeah, very timely. Josh Spreiter is here to break down the celebration of local cuisine.
This is a much anticipated foodie event showcasing the city's diverse dining scene, and this time around you have more than 40 options to choose from. It's presented by our friends at Madison Magazine. From January 25th through the 30th, participating restaurants across the Madison Metro will offer 3-course menus starting at just $30. Some spots are also rolling out $20 lunch menus. It's a tasty way to try new flavors, support local eateries, and warm up during this chilly season. Highlights include everything from upscale steakhouses and cozy bistros to international cuisine and neighborhood favorites. I had a chance to sit down with the food editor of Madison Magazine.
Restaurant Week only happens twice a year, and this is a really great time to have a big event surrounding restaurants because a lot of restaurants are really slow this time of year, and they're really excited to have your business next week.
Restaurant Week has become one of Madison's most popular winter traditions, giving diners an affordable opportunity to explore a wide range of local restaurants. There are 42 taking part, so reservations are encouraged as spots fill up quickly. You can find a list of the restaurants along with their special menus on channel3000.com. And Winter Restaurant Week in Madison is more than just great food this year. We're partnering with the River Food Pantry to help feed neighbors in need. All week, diners are encouraged to donate money or non-perishable food items when visiting participating restaurants. Donations will help stock the new pantry at the River Food Pantry on Packers Avenue. You can also donate online via QR code or at collection boxes set up. It's a simple way to enjoy Madison's food scene and give back at the same time. In the 608, I'm Josh Spreiter.
Thank you, Josh. And you can find Josh every morning and noon right here on News 3 Now.
And for those of you staying in, maybe making something cozy is in order, a hot dish, some soup, anything, maybe not ice cream Blaze.
I mean, I wanted iced coffee today, but there was no ice in the little ice bucket. So I had to settle for hot coffee, which was tough for me, but it did keep my body warm on this very cold day. So yes, maybe a warm dinner tonight and warm meals throughout the rest of the weekend because we are still going to remain on the cooler side. Wind chills anywhere between 20 to 30 degrees below zero through at least Sunday. And we'll take a look at future track wind chills because we may add Monday into our alert days if we continue to see the trend of cold wind chills Monday morning. A reminder, we are still underneath that cold weather advisory now until Saturday at noon, but Green Lake, Marquette, and Waushara counties, we are still underneath that extreme cold warning until 9 a.m. on Saturday. We continue to see a lot of the United States underneath some sort of cold weather or winter weather-related alert. The dark blue, extreme cold warning, the light blue, cold weather advisories, winter storm warnings extending from the desert southwest all the way back to the mid-Atlantic. Ice storm warning for parts of Texas through the lower portions of the Mississippi River Valley. A historic snow and ice storm likely going to be moving through parts of the deep south this weekend, all because of the cold air that pushed its way south into our neck of the woods and further south beginning this morning. Take a look at some of those coldest wind chills across southern Wisconsin. 46 degrees below zero at Fond du Lac Airport and in Darlington. We got to 42 below zero in Juneau and Dodge County. And we got to 41 degrees below zero there at the Madison Airport. These are just some of the entire list that the National Weather Service has provided. And I've got this as well as our coldest overnight lows from this morning and our latest Beyond the Barometer. But we got to about 15 to 20, 25 degrees below zero on this Friday. Last time we got to this type of cold weather it was way back in about December of 2022. So it's been a couple of years. Now our wind chills over the next few hours are going to continue to remain on the cooler side. And again, that is why we have those alert day conditions. We are going to continue to watch as these wind chills, though, do get slightly better as we head into the weekend. Let's pause it Saturday morning, still about 15 to 20 degrees below zero. As we head into the afternoon, starting to feel at least single digits above zero, and our air temperatures will climb above zero as well. As we look ahead to Sunday morning, back to feeling about 15 to 20 degrees below zero. Let's jump ahead to Monday morning as the kids maybe are starting to get back to school. Again, if we continue to see the trend where those wind chills, 25 to 30 degrees below zero, if they're still sticking with us through the rest of this evening into Saturday, we may go ahead and issue an alert day for Monday as well, because this is going to be some dangerous cold as those kids maybe are heading back to school. And again, you can find the coldest wind chills this morning and low temperatures by heading over to our latest Beyond the Barometer. Is there any relief in sight from this cold? We have to wait until about next weekend. That's when temperatures will likely get back into those 20s after at least hanging out in the double digits above zero starting Sunday through the rest of next week. And maybe this breaks down as we get closer to the middle of February. I think as we ease into that week of the middle of February, we start to get warmer, or at least closer to normal, maybe trending slightly warmer than average. So we got a little less than a month of these cooler than average temperature trends, but we are Wisconsinites. We've done it before. We will do it again. It doesn't make it any more easier. I'm asking folks on Facebook, would they prefer the heat or the cold? And a lot of folks are saying the heat, and I don't know how I feel about that, because I can deal with this. I can add layers.
Yes.
I can't, it's hard to get cold.
Right. Right.
So it's an interesting reaction on Facebook, but little to no snow over the next 7 to 10 days, maybe some light snow over the weekend due to that storm moving through portions of the deep south. We'll keep you updated as we head through the weekend with those snow showers.
Boy, February is a week from Sunday.
Crazy.
That's hard to believe. All right, Blaze, thank you. Well, this weekend, the Denver Broncos face off against the New England Patriots in the AFC Championship in the Mile High City. The winner of Sunday's big matchup will advance to next month's Super Bowl. Kickoff is 2 o'clock Sunday, and you can watch the game right here on WISC TV.
Coming up on Live at 4, we are following this weather system that is making life difficult and potentially dangerous everywhere in the U.S.
And an unprecedented testimony is playing out in Washington as former special counsel Jack Smith faces a congressional hearing about January 6th.
In Minneapolis, new protests are erupting after a 5-year-old boy was detained by ICE agents. Plus, an economic blackout is closing businesses and schools in the city in protest of federal action there.
And then a trip to Broadway isn't in the cards for a lot of us, but a local theater is bringing high-quality shows right to our backyard.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Here's a look at the numbers on Wall Street today. The Dow is down 285 points. The Nasdaq gained 65. The S&P 500 picked up 2 points. More than half of the U.S. population is facing snow, ice, and freezing temperatures from a massive storm sweeping across the country this weekend.
So at least we're not alone. I don't know if that makes us feel any better. CBS's Nicole Valdez has more on what we can expect.
This frozen lighthouse on Lake Michigan is a beautiful image and a sign of things to come as a winter storm spanning 2,000 miles gets ready to bear down.
This storm is expected to cause major disruptions to your daily life, possibly for days.
Some 180 million Americans are under weather alerts as snow and ice move from the southwest through the plains to the northeast.
This is a very dangerous combination of heavy snow and extreme cold temperatures.
Salt spreaders are loading up in New York City, and there's concern of salt shortages in certain areas.
The problem that we are seeing, as well as other cities in the Northeast, is that the southern cities who usually don't get hit with salt are purchasing more and more salt over the last few days.
What you see behind me, that is a massive ton of salt, and really just a fraction of the several thousand tons that they have across the city ready to go for truck drivers to try to get onto the roads as soon as that winter weather starts to move in. Whether it's canned goods or ice melt, shoppers in the Ozarks stocked up.
It is a little stressful, especially if we lose power and there's no heat.
This hardware store in Murfreesboro, Tennessee has been a hot spot for days.
Shovels and salt are the biggest things people are wanting right now. If we get this ice, we're going to be looking at chainsaws, generators, extension cords.
Folks are also in it for the fun.
I think people are excited about the sleds.
The store selling more than 2,000 sleds so far. But this winter blast carries very real threats. North Texas is hoping to avoid a repeat of the 2021 ice storm blamed for more than 200 deaths. And airlines are taking precautions, canceling flights in advance. Multiple carriers are allowing travelers to rebook without change fees. Nicole Valdez, CBS News, Nashville.
Former special counsel Jack Smith defends his criminal case against President Trump during his first public testimony before Congress. Smith tells lawmakers his evidence shows President Trump caused the January 6th attack and exploited the violence. Republicans accuse Smith of overreaching by seeking phone records from lawmakers.
They got my phone records for 2.5 years. Even the Democrats said this was wrong.
We followed the facts and we followed the law. Where that led us was to an indictment of an unprecedented criminal scheme to block the peaceful transfer of power.
Do you believe that President Trump's Department of Justice will find some way to indict you?
I believe that they will do everything in their power to do that because they've been ordered to by the president.
President Trump has called Smith a deranged animal and suggests the Attorney General should investigate him.
A 5-year-old boy detained by ICE agents in Minnesota this week is being held in Texas with his father.
Immigration officials are defending their actions as businesses across the Twin Cities are closed today to protest ICE. CBS's Nicole Skanga is there with the details.
U.S. Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bavino defended sending 5-year-old Liam Ramos and his father to a Texas detention center.
So the child is in the least restrictive setting with a family member. I don't think it gets any better than that.
Video obtained by CBS News shows Ramos and his dad, an Ecuadorian asylum seeker, being taken into custody outside their home just north of Minneapolis.
Where's your humanity? That's a kid!
DHS says agents attempted to reunite the child with his mother, but she refused to open the door.
The officers were asking, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Columbia Heights City Council member Rachel James was there and says ICE did not need to take the child.
I heard one neighbor say, I live in this house. I'm part of this family. I can take him. Let him come to me. I heard another neighbor on the other side say, I have the forms. His mom signed the forms. Let me have him. I know him. I know him.
An attorney says the family entered the country in 2024 at a border crossing and has been going through the immigration process. On Friday, the Pillar Forum and hundreds of businesses in the Twin Cities protested ICE with a general strike.
All of us here know how we feel about the matter and have been very vocal that we are against ICE and we are against them being in our spaces and we're against the, sanctioned violence.
Community members are calling for no work, no school, and no shopping, calling it a day of truth and freedom. Nicole Skanga, CBS News, Minneapolis.
Liam Ramos, a preschooler, was the 4th student from the Columbia Heights Public School District to be detained by immigration officials in the past week.
Coming up on Live at 4, a manhunt for someone police call armed and dangerous is still underway. We'll tell you where the investigation is at the moment.
Then the 10,000-seat Veterans Memorial Coliseum is getting a major facelift. We ask how much it could cost you.
And the cold is impacting schools, businesses, flights, and more. We'll talk about the largest ones that you should be on the lookout for.
Then Blaze brings us the first warn forecast with a look at alert day conditions.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Happy Friday, everybody. Thanks for joining us on Live at 4. Hope all of you are staying home, staying warm, enjoying the day off school, some off work.
Stay inside if you can, and don't forget to check on your neighbors, your relatives, friends who might be elderly. This stuff is nothing to mess around with.
Great advice. Yeah. Let's take a look outside today. Here's a frozen shot of the lake.
Ooh.
Yeah, some of the pictures around town looks like the surface of the moon. It's very icy and cold. Dangerous cold continues. We're not quite out of the woods yet. This is Law Park, by the way, overlooking Lake Monona. And Blaze is here. This cold is going to stick around for most of the weekend, right, Blaze?
That's right. Extended through the weekend forecast, I should say. We have those alert day conditions. We may opt to extend those even into Monday. We're going to continue to see if trends keep these cold wind chills around through the start of next week as winds maybe pick up as we end Sunday going into Monday. Taking a look in Dodgeville, giving our first warn weather cams a spin. Upland Hill Sky Cam, it's 8 degrees below zero and it feels like 27 degrees below zero. We are continuing to remain underneath a cold weather advisory now through noon on Saturday. Green Lake, Marquette, and Waushara counties, to name a few, still those underneath the dark blue here, so that would also include Dodge County through 6 a.m. on Saturday, we're still underneath that extreme cold warning. The coldest air is going to be pushing off towards the northeast, so you're going to be underneath that colder air for slightly longer than folks further to the south and to the west. Current temperatures anywhere between 7 and about 10 degrees below zero. At 9 degrees below zero, we didn't set a new record for the Madison area, but we likely tied the coldest high temperature recorded possibly now 3 times, but for sure twice for today's date in 1936 and then in 1963. Add on top of that the breezy northwesterly winds and the fresh snow, still feeling anywhere between 25 to 30 degrees below zero. As we make our way through the rest of this evening, let's take a look at what those wind chills will be like and take a look at our overnight lows. Anywhere between 25 to 30 degrees below zero is what we can expect overnight as we remain clear to mostly clear, starting to see some improvements as we get into those morning hours. On Saturday, we're looking at about 10 to 15 to 20 degrees below zero in terms of actual air temperatures tonight, when the relief finally arrives here across southern Wisconsin in the full forecast.
All right, Blaze, thank you. Well, some of us have to go outside. You have to take the puppers for a walk, make it brief, and it's important you're cautious in cold like this. If you have to go outside, make sure you bundle up.
Tanisha Shaw is telling us how to wear your winter gear the right way to avoid frostbite. Tanisha, you spoke with a doctor today.
Hi, Brady and Susan. Yes, I did. And she told me in this type of weather, you can get frostbite within minutes. And to avoid that, your winter gear is going to be essential. Everyone in Wisconsin knows that you need your coat, hat, and gloves. If you're wearing a hat, it should be thick and able to cover your ears. Your gloves should also be thick, try to avoid wearing those thin cotton mittens and gloves. And it's also very important to layer up with loose clothing. Dr. Morgan Weber from SSM Health says that if you do get frostbite, the next steps are very crucial.
Get indoors, get somewhere warm, and warm your fingers up. So use like a warm blanket or a towel or clothing, something like that. Get anything wet off, wet mittens, and then avoid extreme heat. So no stoves, fireplaces, heating packs, electric blankets, none of that. Because remember, you can't feel anything. So you can cause further damage by having too much heat. And no friction or massage, or don't try to warm your hands up and get the blood flowing. That doesn't help anything. That just increases our risk for damage to the tissue.
Absolutely. That was Dr. Morgan Weber right there. And she said that if that doesn't work and your hand is changing colors, swollen, or even has blisters, that you should go to the emergency room as soon as possible.
That's really good advice. We're learning something today. Tanisha, thank you. Several airlines are letting passengers rebook or cancel flights this weekend because of that big storm Blaze was talking about. United, Delta, American, and Southwest have all issued travel advisories. They're waiving rebooking fees if new travel happens within a set time frame. Delta also proactively canceled flights late last night across 5 states. So far, Madison does not appear to be affected, but there are a few delays being reported in Milwaukee. You can track the forecast for yourself on the First Warn Weather app. It has hourly planners, road conditions, and radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather.
A manhunt continues after police say a man drove a stolen vehicle into Monona Bay yesterday morning. Police say they're searching for Derek Newton. Police say he carjacked an SUV early yesterday and then he sunk it into Monona Bay near Brittingham Park. They say the carjacking happened near Meriter Hospital, putting it on lockdown. Officials believe Newton has a knife and gun and is a threat to the public. We will continue to follow this story, providing updates on air and on channel3000.com.
A Mount Horeb man has been arrested by Dane County Sheriff's deputies for impersonating a police officer and unlawful use of a telephone. A victim called police saying that they had gotten a call from a 22-year-old man who falsely identified himself as an officer with Madison Police. He claimed to be conducting an investigation and asked the victim sexually explicit questions. Detectives also found that Madison Police were investigating a similar situation with a second victim. So if you receive a similar call, if you've received one, call the Dane County Sheriff's Office. The non-emergency number is on your screen.
Dane County has announced an accepted presented proposal outlining the next steps for the future of the Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Madison.
That's right, an investment that would help refurbish the distinct and historic building into a modern, state-of-the-art venue. Our Nash Dara has the story.
Yeah, Brady and Susan, some exciting news in what has been a decade of reimagining for the renovation of a underutilized building that is monumental to the city. The big expected change is getting significantly more live entertainment. The Alliant Energy Center will go from hosting 2 concerts a year to a proposed 60. Changes to infrastructure on the dated building would improve fan experience. Current challenges the building faces are attracting events due to rigging, requiring more time than expected for lights and sound, while also having older seating, restrooms, and concessions, which have an effect on the guest experience.
So the proposal that was provided to us by Frank Productions is $100 million. We believe that that is enough to reinstill life into the Veterans Memorial Coliseum, keeping it completely off of the taxpayer roll, ensuring that the county continues to invest in our core services, the health, safety, and well-being of our friends and neighbors across Dane County.
Alliant Energy Center Director Kevin Schiebler also said in 2025, out of the entire year, the Coliseum was only used 44 of those days. As of now, there is no projected timeline for the project as the county is still very early on in contractual talks, but Executive Director Agard expects it will be the second quarter of this year when more details are to be given to the public.
Nash, thank you. Next on Live at 4, we are covering the day's biggest news stories in the afternoon sprint.
And then we have a nice and warm indoor activity taking place in our community. How you don't need to go any further than Verona for a world-class theater performance.
And wind chills were as cold as 40 below this morning. Yikes. Our First Warned weather team is tracking how cold things could be tonight and through the weekend.
News 3 Now, live at 4.
Well, despite the cold, at least it's our favorite day. It's Friday. And this weekend is the perfect weather to take in a Broadway show inside, and you don't even have to go all the way to New York City.
Nope. Verona Area Community Theater is putting on Anything Goes. Now, tonight's performance, unfortunately, is canceled because of the weather, but you still have 3 chances to see it this weekend.
Until then, here's a preview of what you can expect and why the cast says this is the important opportunity to see your friends and neighbors in a new light. If you ever feel like you're drowning and you need a life raft,
In olden days, a glimpse of stocking was looked on as something shocking, but now God knows anything goes. Oh, it's very fun.
look no further than Verona Area Community Theater's production of Anything Goes.
I mean, truly, I hope they walk away with like a sore gut from laughing so much. There's so much humor and there's so much life in this musical.
The story follows lovesick stockbroker Billy Crocker as he stows away on a luxury ocean liner, SS American, to win over an heiress before she marries someone else.
Billy Crocker is a lighthearted guy who's hopelessly in love, no pun intended, with a woman named Hope.
I get no kick from champagne.
Brassy nightclub singer Reno Sweeney helps Billy out in between some other antics.
Well, she's kind of a showgirl in New York City, but her gimmick is that she saves sinners in her nightclub every night. But does she really?
I won't spoil what happens next, but you may already know parts of this show. The words and music are by Cole Porter, so a few songs will sound familiar.
Anything goes.
It's delicious, it's still lovely.
A tap dancing musical romp takes center stage, but the real spotlight is on the very real people who are playing these characters. Fecto, an NYU graduate, says it's fun seeing her friends and neighbors in a different way outside of their day jobs.
It is very surprising. You're like, what do you do? Well, I'm a scientist. What do you do? A lot of people work at Epic, HR folks, just people doing everything in their day-to-day lives. And then they come here at night and we get to share this amazing thing together. It's really fun.
With more than 60 people in the cast, Polzine says there's a boatload of possibilities.
You get to know so many people, and yeah, it's hard not to be invigorated because you're just with people that you love being with 3 days a week, all the time.
If you need an escape from the choppy waters of reality, you can set sail
On the shore that's going ashore.
for a good time at the local theater. Not only will you support your local community and the cast of characters who live there, you might have yourself a time.
It's delightful, it's delicious.
That's delightful.
In times that are so difficult, it's very important to have an outlet to feel joy. It's okay to still laugh. It's okay to find joy in things, and it's very important that we do.
The tickets for Anything Goes are on sale now. All performances are at Badger Ridge Middle School. You can get tickets by going to vact.org. Remember, tonight's show is canceled because of the weather, but the show will resume tomorrow through Sunday.
Break a leg, everybody.
Yes.
That is a great show. Well, we're still below zero, right, Blake?
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
What is it, 9 below right now?
Yep, and unfortunately it is cold out there. I am sorry. I'm just going to put that one out there as well. I am sorry for this cold. Coming from Siberia, crossing over the Arctic, we were telling you about this as we were getting towards the end of this last weekend. I remember saying to Jalen, I think that second Arctic blast after the Martin Luther King Jr. Day cold was going to be colder than even what I was forecasting. And I was leaning on the warmer side, and unfortunately, we were right. It was cold today. This is the coldest day it has been in quite some time. The fact that we didn't get above zero is the first time we've had a sub-zero high in the Madison area since December of 2022. So it's been some time, and thankfully we are going to be staying above zero as we head further into the extended forecast. Dodge, Green Lake, Marquette, Washar counties, we are underneath that cold, extreme cold warning through 9 a.m. on Saturday. Everybody else in the light blue now underneath a cold weather advisory till noon on Saturday. Both of these, or at least the cold weather advisory, could be extended because this cold is going to take its time moving on out of here. So if you haven't done so already, follow us on Facebook, on Twitter. You can download our First Warned Weather app. Frequently check in on our website as well to get the latest updates should these cold weather alerts be extended. We're not the only ones dealing with this cold. We've got a historic winter storm expected to develop and make its way from the Texas area all the way into New England. Winter storm warnings in the pink from Texas all the way to the Atlantic coast. Here in this purple, that is an ice storm warning, winter storm watch there. They're going to be dealing with not only snow, but also that ice too. So we're dealing with the cold. Thankfully, we don't have to deal with that mess, but we are thinking of them because that is going to be a historic storm nonetheless. It was cold this morning. Savannah was doing this as well as RW, who sent in that photo where you boil water and you throw it into this cold air and it instantly becomes this mist. If you've got any weather photos, that QR code there on our app or on our website as well. Speaking of those cold wind chills, here's a list of just some of the coldest, ranging from about 41 degrees below zero in the Dells and in Madison to nearly 50 degrees below zero at Fond du Lac Airport, as well as in Darlington. I have a whole write-up in our latest Beyond the Barometer of not only the coldest wind chills across the area, but our cold overnight lows as well. We're going to be above zero tomorrow, mostly clear to partly cloudy. We may get some of that light snow tomorrow, mainly along the Wisconsin-Illinois border. Not looking at a whole lot in the way of accumulations, but as that historic storm to our south develops and moves off towards the northeast, we may get clipped on the northern end of that with some light snow. Wind chills, though, they are going to be improving as we go into your Saturday afternoon. Starting off at about 15 to 25 degrees below zero. We'll at least feel above zero as we head into your Saturday afternoon. But stay with us because we may extend that alert day through Monday based on possible wind chill values waking up on Monday. But we are remaining above zero and in those double digits Sunday through the rest of the extended forecast.
Thanks, Blaze. And stay tuned for the afternoon sprint. We have an update on Iowa County roads, who is playing at Bratfest, and the latest on a manhunt in Madison. Coming up tonight at 5, we are keeping you updated on the freezing cold weather settling into our area, how to stay safe, and how it will affect your weekend. And we are looking around the country to see how the weather is affecting people everywhere. We are not alone. Well, thanks for joining us today on Live at 4. We'll see you back here on Monday. You can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+. Stay safe, keep warm, and look out for each other. News 3 Now at 5 starts now.